Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard. Always a pleasure to be with you each week. We bring different programs to you from around the area. Different organizations come in, and we're glad to have them because we pick up a lot of good information. Many times we don't even know what they're going to talk about until they get here, so that's good for us too.
Yes, it's retaining the information.
Retaining the information, yes. How you been? You've had to work a little bit, so you haven't been with me the last two shows because you filled in at Classic Cuts.
Yeah, I've been filling in for Dottie, one of my coworkers. She was off doing whatever business.
Was ill at one time, I think.
Right, and I was sick the time before, so it's been forever since I've been on the show.
Well, I'm glad to have you back.
Glad to be here. Glad to be back.
It's tough for me to have to solo this thing.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I'm pretty sure you're just fine.
I mean, I could talk.
You do all the gabbing anyway.
Gabbing?
Yeah, you're a pro.
Oh, thanks for the gabbing part of it.
BS, if we could say that on national TV
show.
on your TV show, yeah.
Anyway, it's good to have you back.
Thank you.
So that we can do this together and come up with different things together.
Well, I appreciate you having me back.
Let's take a quick break. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a young lady about actually a huge organization right here in Harrison that does a lot of things for seniors.
If you don't have life insurance, a final expense insurance plan pays cash to your family for final and all other expenses. If you're unable to purchase life insurance due to a pre-existing or current medical condition, call us right now for information and a free consultation. Rates will never increase, the policy cannot be canceled, and there are no restrictions on how your beneficiaries can use the money.
Call 1-800-243-9364. 1-800-243-9364.
Start spinning, twisting, and pumping into a healthy lifestyle 24 hours a day at the Fitness Club. With all of the best equipment and personal trainers, you're ensured a workout that's fun, effective, and motivating. At the Fitness Club, you can enhance your glow, relax your mind, and refresh your body all in one convenient location. So what are you waiting for? Start spinning, twisting, and pumping your way into a new you today. Enhance your lifestyle and reach your goals at the Fitness Club, Highway 6265 North in Harrison.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, and our first guest in the studio today is Michelle Byler. Michelle, first time you've been on our show here, I think.
It sure is.
Of course, we've had other individuals from your organizations on the show at many times, and but it's good to have you here. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What services does the area agency provide for us?
Well, the Area Agency on Aging provides services for the entire community of the 60 and older population primarily, because we have services for people who are healthy and 60 and older and those who are not so healthy. The senior centers are a part of what we do, and so the senior center here has recently had a huge expansion and been able to provide more programs that way. They've increased the number of exercise programs that they have available. They increased the size of the dining area in the first place. The home delivered meals come out of the senior center. They go on a lot of trips. I mean, just you name it, they do it. And then on the other end of the spectrum, for those who would otherwise qualify to be in a nursing home, we are able to provide the in-home services that allow them to continue to stay in their home. And that includes things like being able to provide the medical equipment that they need to stay in their home. We also have the Life Alert systems that plug into people's phone lines, and they're able to push the button if they fall or if they need assistance, and someone's able to be there right away.
Important. Sure.
It's very important. A lot of people will choose to private pay for that service. Other people who have the long-term care Medicaid will use that as part of their services. We have the Adult Day Center as part of what we do, and that's for folks who are not in that situation yet where they need to be in a facility, but they can't really be at home by themselves. Maybe they have family members who work, but they need someplace to go during the day.
Okay.
That's available, and that's just a huge thing in this community, because we serve 9 counties.
Okay.
And in those 9 counties, there are only 3 adult day centers, and that's including over in Washington and Benton County.
Wow.
So they don't have some of the same services as we have over here. We've got one here, then there's one in Baxter County, and those are both under our umbrella. And then there's one in Bella Vista, and that's under a separate organization, but that's a huge thing as well. We have case management services in general for the 60 and older population, where we're able to help them find the different things that they need to be able to continue to stay in their home and live a long, healthy life. We do have housing. We don't have any housing complexes here in Boone County, but we do in several of the other counties that we serve. So just a huge gamut of services that we provide.
Yeah, that was a lot of information.
I know.
I'm not sure. I should probably pick that a little bit and get a little more detailed.
Let me ask a question about, okay, so do you know where the senior center is right there on
Yes.
Bunker? You know where the senior, and that's where you've expanded that senior. So is that also the adult day center? Is that for the people that need to come, be dropped off, maybe they got a relative working, they can stay there during the day and then be picked up and taken back to their residence? Is that correct?
Right. It's on Rock Springs Road.
I mean, I didn't mean Bunker. I meant
Right.
Rock Springs Road.
Right.
Yeah, 1516 Rock Springs Road is the address for the senior center, and the adult day center is in there.
It's all part of that, in that same building.
Right, and the adult day center hours are from 7:30 to 5 on weekdays.
Okay.
People will ask if they'll consider being open on the weekends too, because a lot of the folks who go there get upset on the weekend whenever they don't get to go. But they're able to have the same meal that the folks do at the senior center, and they have activities going on for them during the day. They have different people will come in and play music for them. They have arts and crafts and games, and there's always something going on. So it's a really good place for those folks who need a little supervision.
Sounds like they would really enjoy it. No
Yeah.
wonder they want to
It
do
kinda
it on the
Right.
weekends
Yeah.
as well.
Right.
So you don't do weekends?
Not
No.
through that, but now through in-home services, a lot of the people will have
Somebody
a personal care aide that comes into their home on the weekends.
Okay. The senior center there, they serve lunch. Do they just serve lunch each day? Is that all?
They do. They just serve lunch.
Okay.
Now, there's times whenever they have different outings. They have the group called Off Our Rockers that if you go to shows in Branson, if you go to shows in Branson, sometimes they're there, and they're real good to just make a lot of noise, and they just have a lot of fun, and sometimes they'll go on dinner outings and things. But as far as meals at the senior center, it's just lunch.
Well, I mentioned to her before you got here that I have been to the senior center several times, and actually have had lunch out there. We went out and did a couple programs, and they invited us to stay and have lunch on them. And the food is excellent. I mean, they have great. I mean, it's good home cooking type stuff.
Wow.
It's really good food. And like the people the seniors 60 and older that go out there to have lunch, a lot of them every day go out there and have lunch. What does it cost? Is it a donation or?
It is. It's a $3 donation for people who are 60 and older, and it's $5 for those under 60. And you can't beat that because
No,
you're
it's
getting
excellent.
all of your food groups represented. It's the same.
Including dessert.
Right, right. And the dessert's always good.
Wow.
And
Home cooking for $5, you cannot beat that.
$3 for the seniors, so you can imagine it's a great value for them.
Right.
But what's so really nice about it is, seniors, they really enjoy the fact that they can go out there and they can play checkers or dominoes, and they're with their people their own age, and then some of them that may be in a wheelchair or something, they can still be active and do things and not have to sit home all day and do nothing,
Right.
and not be around people.
It sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is. It's a great place
Yeah,
out there.
it is a very great place.
I think we're real fortunate to have one. Does Mountain Home has one in Baxter County?
there's one we have at least one in every county that we serve, and several of the counties have multiple ones.
Oh, wow.
It just kind of depends on the county.
Okay.
We serve 9 counties out of our regional office, so we are talking about Benton, Washington, Madison, Carroll, Boone County, of course, Newton, Searcy, Marion, and Baxter. So it's a pretty
big
large area.
Yeah. So to take advantage of your services, do they have to get qualified? How does a senior get to take advantage of some of the services?
it's just kind of dependent on what they need. As far as going to the senior center, that's open to folks who are
Just walk in?
right, who are 60 and older, and then a lot of their spouses will participate in some of the things that they have as well. As far as other services, it just kind of depends. If it's someone who is needing more help in the home, needing some of those personal care services, we work through 2 different long-term care Medicaid waiver programs, one of them being a program called Elder Choices, which is for people who are 65 and older who would otherwise qualify to be in a nursing home but are choosing to continue to stay in their home. And we can help people with completing that application and getting it turned into the Department of Human Services, help make sure they've got all the documentation that's necessary. People can go straight to the Department of Human Services and get those applications, but a lot of times they get them and they think, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right, sure.
With
It's
this.
overwhelming for them.
Yeah.
And there's another program called Alternatives for Adults with Physical Disabilities, and that's for people who are under the age of 65 but are wanting to continue to stay in their home when they might otherwise qualify to be in a nursing home. And it's very similar. We also are contracted with the VA for people who have VA aid and attendance. We're able to provide services through a referral from the VA. We also take straight Medicaid, so people who are on either SSI Medicaid or AR seniors are able to get services that way. And then, of course, we do private pay and the long-term care insurances
for them too.
as well.
We're running a little short on time. Well, she gives us a lot of information.
I know.
And did you absorb all that? I didn't know. I'm not sure I got it all. She was giving us a lot. No, in all seriousness, you're having your 35th anniversary celebration, an open house for the new facility.
That's right.
Talk about that for a minute or two.
Well, the Area Agency on Aging of Northwest Arkansas has been around for 35 years now. And so actually all of our counties are having different events
Okay.
in the coming months. And we're having ours on Thursday, August the 28th from 10 to 2. And it's
Okay.
going to be at the Senior Center since it's newly remodeled. We want everybody to
Sure.
be able to come and see it. It's also an opportunity for people to be able to go and tour the Adult Day Center while they're there. We'll have cake and punch and some different giveaway items, and several members of the staff will be there to help answer questions. And you can come on over to the branch office while you're there and kind of see where we are. We don't have all the cool stuff that they have at the Senior Center since we're just offices, but kind of see where we're located and see different ways that we can be of assistance to you.
Well, that sounds like that'd be great. I'm anxious to see the expansion program because you needed more space. You were getting
yes.
pretty cramped in
Yes.
in that senior center there with the number of adults that were going there. You know, and it's very the parking lot is full. I mean, every day you go by there. Well, you serve lunch from what, 11 to 1 or something? Or?
Approximately.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before,
Okay.
but most of the people are getting there around the 11:30
Okay.
mark.
So in that time frame.
Right.
So that's good. Well, that's fantastic. That's great information, Michelle. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us today. And obviously, if anybody had any questions, they can call over
That's
there.
right. 743-1623 is the number for the branch office,
Okay.
and we'd be happy to help you with any needs that you've got.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate you coming in and talking to us today about the Area Agency on Aging and the big senior center out here at 1516 Rock Springs Road. I'll get the address right this time. And don't forget, they're having their 35th celebration and kind of a open house for the new facility. August 28th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the senior center. Everybody's invited to go out and see what you got right here in your back door. It's a great facility to have here in Harrison. We'll be back in a moment and talk with a couple of people about another program that's kind of an annual event on Connection.
Books are an important part of your life, and when you go to Books on the Square, you'll find books that will not only be informative, but books that will take you away. Books on the Square now has 2 locations on the south side of the Harrison Square. Books on the Square carries fiction books, books on CD, lots of westerns, and books full of mystery. Books on the Square, too, next to Deb's Frames and Things, has your nonfiction favorites, religious, historical, and even cookbooks. Take a stroll down the south side of the square and visit both Books on the Square.
We came to Arvest Bank to see what makes it different. There's branches everywhere.
Throughout Oklahoma and Arkansas, Missouri, and Kansas.
There's an Arvest branch within 2 miles of my office in any direction.
I can literally go down the street and still make a deposit.
There are Arvests everywhere. I can get popcorn, suckers, and friendly smiles.
There's as many locations as there are kernels of popcorn in this bag.
Whatever branch I'm in, they treat me like it's my bank, like it's my small town branch.
Arvest Bank. Our customers say it best.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television, Dennis King, Tabitha Odegaard. Thanks for joining us for the second half of our show. We appreciate it. And of course, each week we have different guests. And today we have two fine gentlemen. See, you noticed I used the word fine. Kevin Merrill and Skip Hendricks. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. Talked to Kevin back a few weeks ago, and I said, "Are you still doing this program like you did last year?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, why don't you come in and be on the show?" And he says, "I'm always on your show, all the time." So Kevin's no stranger. He's been advertising with us here for years and years and years. So
when he came in, I was like, "You look very familiar."
That's because you see him on the TV
He's
all
on
the time.
TV
That's
all
why.
the time.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate
Yes, thank you so much for coming in. Absolutely.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the Vets for Warriors. Just explain to us what that is.
Okay. Well, Dennis and Tabitha, thanks again for having us here today. We're super excited this year. Vets for Warriors is a group of individuals that have Corvettes. And it's just this nucleus decided, hey, let's do something that honors our veterans. Let's do something that helps some great causes. And so that's what Vets for Warriors is. It's just a group of people that have a common interest in Corvettes and having a higher purpose of serving other people.
So I'm sure you've got a Corvette.
I do.
And you've got a Corvette.
Yes, I do.
All right.
I haven't seen his, but I've seen he's got a brand new one.
A brand
Pretty
new
sharp
one.
looking, yeah.
What color?
It's red.
Red?
Torch
Yours?
red.
Yeah.
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah. He won't let me touch it, but it's beautiful. I see it every once in a while at his place of business over here. No,
I'll take a black one.
Black
anybody's
one?
giving
Yeah,
them
those are
out.
nice. Okay. When did the organization, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Is Vets for Warriors, is that a national organization, or did it start here? Or tell us.
It started here. It started out of the Tri-Lakes Corvette Club, just a group of the individuals in that club decided to get together and put this on. So it's just a local organization.
Okay.
It's been a group that's been together now. This is our 4th annual year to raise the funds, and so far.
Mm-hmm.
And so far, this raised over $92,000 as of last year. So in just a short amount of time, we have made a huge impact in the different agencies and people that we've helped. So
$92,000.
Over $92,000.
Wow, that's
cash that checks we've been able to write to these organizations.
In 3 years, that's a lot of money.
It's huge.
That's fantastic.
Awesome.
The Harrison community, as well as we've got people that have made donations from Texas and different states that figure out what we're doing,
right,
and are all about helping contribute. And then we've got some great club members that are, for instance, last year there was a couple of club members that donated what kind of guitar was it? It was just a very expensive, nice guitar. They took it up to the for crying out loud! Well, why don't we just get on TV and forget about what we're going to do? Black Oak Amphitheater, and Journey was playing.
Okay.
And so that's the type of guitar that they played on. And so they signed it, and we raffled that off, and so we were able to raise quite a bit of money that way. So this year, one of our members donated a Harley Davidson, a 1999 Harley Davidson. It's got 13,500 miles on it, I think. It is beautiful. It is decked out.
So you're going to raffle that off?
We're raffling that off. So
how much are raffle tickets for this? Do you know?
One ticket is $10 or 3 for $25.
That's a great deal.
And believe it or not, we've had people in our club go to different clubs to promote the event we're having and to sell tickets, but we've sold tickets as far away as Michigan and Wisconsin and down in Texas.
Wow.
Different people traveling, and it's going very well.
That's fantastic. Somebody was very nice to donate a Harley Davidson.
Well, I tell you, we just have some very generous people in our club. But the thing is the reason that generosity comes about is because of the event, of what we're doing. We've got 3 different agencies that we're raising money for. One of them is No Greater Sacrifice. Mm-hmm. These are are funds that are given for fallen soldiers. They've been killed in action, have passed away because of injuries sustained through service to their country, and so this No Greater Sacrifice is to take care of the educational needs of their children. Okay,
Wow.
and
Nice.
so you know that's what this one is. And then we've got the Green Beret Foundation. The Green Beret Foundation, Skip, what specifically?
They to provide ongoing help. You know, the government helps what they can, but there's extra funds that are needed by these families, and this is just a way to help them through everyday life.
I got
you know,
do things that the VA won't take care of and stuff like that.
Above and beyond the government program.
That's
Yes.
right. And then we've also got the Mediviva breast cancer research, and so they help provide the research that's needed to help try to figure out a cure for breast cancer and so on. So these are the three different entities in which we donate to. And so whenever you start talking to people about veterans and veterans' children's or fallen soldiers' children's and then breast cancer, you get a lot of people that just have a very generous heart and stuff like that.
Well, you're touching, I mean, just breast cancer alone is, you know, unbelievable number of people, as we all probably know or have someone who has cancer or has had, and but the other two organizations to go with that, so you really are touching a tremendous number of people with the funding that you're doing.
Absolutely, and it's just so neat to see people whenever you say, hey, we're selling raffle tickets, and they're going, well, I don't sell a motorcycle. Well, this is what it's going to, and then all of a sudden they don't care whether they ride a motorcycle or not, they're buying tickets, for donation purpose. And so
That's
again,
nice.
it is really cool.
That is very nice.
So, last year, how much money did you raise? You remember last year?
Oh, it was $60,000.
Yeah,
it was $60,000.
So you're hoping to raise even more than
we
that?
would love to raise that much more. Absolutely. We had a few people that gave just a tremendous amount of money. We had people that were matching funds and so on. And so it was a really, really neat deal there. And of course, this is all going to be the final or the top off or the finale, if you will, for this year is going to be our car show that we're doing on September the 6th.
When is that?
Yeah,
September the 6th. It's Saturday, September the 6th. And
Where's
and
it
so, what's that?
Where is it at?
It is going to be downtown on the square. And
you're going to do it on the square?
You
On the
bet.
square this year.
You did it with Motor Company last year.
We did. And Wood Motor Company has been a fantastic sponsor for us. They have just been so helpful and very generous, and of course they're helping us again this year. One of the things that we found out is there's a lot of ladies that come with these Corvettes, and they wanted a place to shop. And so, anyway, so this
There
year,
you go, on the
we
square.
decided that
That's nice.
we're also partnering with the Blue Sky Arts Festival this year. Of course, they're going to be on the square as well. That's the same weekend that the hot air balloon competition is going to be in
Three
town.
different things going on, which is
Absolutely.
good.
That's
That
awesome,
brings-
yeah.
That brings
in more people.
Yeah, a lot more
You bet.
people.
And so we've got different events where we're actually going to be doing a parade of Corvettes that are going to leave from the convention center, go over to First Baptist Church, where there'll be a special parking place for the Corvettes, and then watch
What
the
time does that
balloons
start?
launch. That's going to be about 5 o'clock on Friday night.
So if somebody wanted to participate in that, bring up their Corvette
You
and
bet.
join you guys, just
Absolutely.
Okay.
And we're just trying to get as many people that have Corvettes to come and register for the show and be a part of that great event. We're going to have People's Choice trophies. We're going to have a live auction at 1 o'clock. And so we're
what are some of the things that you're going to auction off?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh yeah,
Thought you'd never ask.
You're gonna love this. One of my hot buttons is NASCAR, right?
Okay.
And in NASCAR, one of the best things that you could ever do would be to get a hot pass. What's called a hot pass.
Okay.
You can go in the garage area when they're working on the cars. You can watch the race from the pits. It's just an incredible deal. So you're rubbing elbows with the drivers, with the car owners, and stuff like that. You cannot do that with a regular ticket.
No.
And so hot passes aren't something that you cannot buy. These are something that you have to be given, and NASCAR has been generous enough to give us some tickets this year, and so we're not raffling those off, we're actually auctioning those off at 1 o'clock. So if somebody wants a set of hot passes to NASCAR, and you pick the race, you pick the date, so it's
Wow,
great.
that's
And then
really
plus
kind
we're
of
gonna have
open-ended. Then you can use it
It
for
is.
any of the races.
any of the races towards the end of this year or even all of 2015
Nice.
season.
So
So
that's worth a lot too.
like
It
Kevin
is.
said, you can't buy these.
No.
You can, they're very, very special.
Yeah. You have to know the right people to get them.
That's right. You got to know the right people, and boy, I wish I knew them.
We've got about 4 minutes left, guys.
Well, let's talk about the veterans for just a second, because I'd like to do that. As Kevin said, Wood Motor Company's been a great sponsor for us this year. They're going to set up a tent on the courthouse square, a veterans tent, hospitality tent. And at that tent, we will have food and beverages for the veterans to come and mingle together and talk about whatever.
War stories.
War stories, swap, those kind of things. Exactly. And FedEx is sponsoring a, what would you call that, a display of military
uniforms over the years.
And so forth that will be there also that people can look at, and it's great. When the veterans come, we want them to register because we want to know who's been there and so forth. And we're going to feed them, and then we're going to let them get in a Corvette and be in a parade.
Oh,
and
nice.
that's going to be fantastic.
That's
We've
nice.
had great response the last 3 years. Last year we had about 85 veterans show up.
Really?
We're hoping to exceed that this year.
How many vets did you have, Corvettes, last year?
Oh, actually, we were pretty.
60 Corvettes last year.
That's a
so
lot.
we're hoping for more.
Yeah.
And then also the Oscar Mayer Wiener is going to be here. That's going to be in the parade. So that's a really cool.
What is that?
The Wienermobile.
The big Wiener.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
You ever seen the hot dog on wheels?
Look at
No.
It's going to be cool. It's going to be in the parade.
There's a
and,
picture.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow.
So anyway, one of our club members happens to have a good connection with Oscar Mayer, so the Wienermobile is going to be here.
The Wienermobile.
And going to be passing out the whistles and stuff like that.
Fantastic.
So I'd like to encourage anybody, if you're a veteran or if you know a veteran or a veteran in your family, have them come down. We just love to have them be part of this event.
Sounds like a fun. That's going to be a fun weekend between the arts, the show on the square, the balloon festival, and then of course the Vets for Warriors with all the Corvettes in town. I've got a little toy Corvette. Maybe I could take it and park it.
There you go.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let's bring it down, Dennis. We'll have a place for you.
I'll set it over there. No, that's fantastic. Well, that takes a lot of work, a lot of effort from individuals like you, and it's a great program. I mean, if people wanted to help, I mean, obviously you take donations.
Absolutely.
I guess you've got enough people to help do whatever you're doing in the organization. But if somebody wanted to make a donation just to give you money, I'm sure you'd take it.
They can come by and see me at Main Street Service Center on Goblin Drive. They can give me a call at 741-4252 or call 391-9639. And we've got a brochure here that's probably got a phone number. Our website is www.vets4warriors.com.
Okay.
And
so if they wanted to make a donation, call you or then go on that website.
That's right.
Or veterans may call me at 302-9332.
Very good.
And I can give them information they need.
Good. We certainly appreciate you guys coming in and for your contribution to the Vets for Warriors, and I'm sure it'll be another big. And I hope you exceed the $60,000
I hope so
that you raised last year.
Dennis and Tabitha, thank you very much for having us.
Thank you so much, both of you, for coming in. Don't forget about this event coming up. It's very worthwhile. It goes to 3 great organizations, and nothing more important than our veterans that sacrificed their life or gave their life for our freedom today. Don't forget about it. September the 5th in the afternoon, they're going to do some things, and then the 6th, which is a Saturday, Vets for Warriors down on the square. You won't be able to miss it because there's going to be 60-plus Corvettes, beautiful cars down there. Go down and take part in it and help them out. We appreciate it. Glad you joined me on the show this week. You didn't leave me hanging. Thanks for being here with me.
I've been busy.
You have been busy. Thanks for joining us on Connection. We'll see you again next week.
Hi, I'm Television Advertising. I'm sure you remember me from all the times you've seen me nestled in between your favorite shows. Yeah, I work a lot, but I'm in demand because of my impressive skill set. Grocery stores, banks, car lots, even billboards depend on me to get the job done. Let me, television advertising, work for you. You'll be glad you did. Now, back to your regular